a shed with guns drawn. They take into custody a scary-looking dude with facial tattoos. Then cops enter the shed. They are looking for someone. Is there somebody up there in the loft? It's an unforgettable sight. A ghostly figure slowly makes her way down a ladder. That's not makeup she's wearing. She's got 2 black eyes. Police say 23-year-old Chloe Jones was beaten with a baseball bat and held in the shed for 4 days before she was rescued. Chloe says she wants her face shown as a warning for other women. She says the accused kidnapper, 33-year-old William Mazengo, offered her a ride home in Kenmore, Ohio. She made the mistake of accepting and ended up in the shed where she was beaten. It turns out Chloe Jones wasn't his first kidnapping victim. He was convicted of kidnapping another woman in Ohio in 2017, but was released after serving only 18 months in prison. Now that victim, Mackenzie Maston, is speaking out.
And the police were able to come in and swarm him, and the whole time during when he was getting in the cop car and everything else, he was screaming that he was going to finish what he started.
When you saw her black eyes, did you have those same black eyes?
Yes, it was one of the most scariest experiences of my life. I just can't believe that.
All praises and glory to Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham Ha Rakah Kodash. Double honors to our apostle elders, which rule Great Millstone well. And shalom to the hopeful elect of the nation of Israel. May you endure into the end. Shalom wa abab. So there's reports of these women getting fucked up. Young women, getting fucked up. And this ain't the only one. All right? And just like you heard, this man was able to do it to multiple young women. And this is actually going to increase. All right? The Lord has spirits of vengeance that he's going to release on you so-called modern women. All right, especially the Israelite woman, which is the so-called Negro, Latino, and Native American Indian woman, because of your whoredom and the abominations that you commit. Let me get Ezekiel 9, verse 4. It says, "And Yahweh said unto him, Go through the midst of the city, through the midst of Jerusalem, and set a mark upon the foreheads of the men that sigh and that cry, for all the abominations that be done in the midst thereof." Which you have Israelite women that look like so-called Caucasian women. All right? And the Lord is going to judge you whether you're a dark-skinned woman or a light-skinned woman. But if you're an Israelite woman, all right, it don't really matter what color you are, but if you're living righteous or not, that's what a judgment is according to, not according to your color. So let me make that clear. The Lord ain't going to judge you whether you're dark or light skinned. He's going to judge you if you're living according to what he created you to be doing. All right, which the women today are whores. All right, they've had many husbands. They've had many, look at this shit, like this woman now, these 2 women. Now just think, now they're going to want a regular relationship with the normal man one day, right? After they get over the trauma, they're going to want to marry someone. And who knows what that dude was doing with that baseball bat. He was probably raping them with it and everything. Who knows what this dude did to these women. And now these women are supposed to be, your modern women that you're supposed to marry and try to make love to. Come on, man. This is why we are sighing and crying, all right? Because all these women have gone through this shit. Now, these ones got reported, all right? Because it was a little more extreme, but all these modern women have been so-called raped, but you really can't rape the willing, all right? But these women have been gangbanged. They've had trains ran on them. They've had one-night stands with people they didn't even know. Can't even remember the next morning who they were. They've got STDs. They've had abortions. So great, horrible things are going to come upon the modern woman in these last days, all right? It says, and set a mark, which is that spiritual mark, the wa, upon the foreheads of the men that sigh and that cry for all the abominations that be done in the midst thereof. So the Lord hears our prayers, so he's going to start sending out judgment. And to the others he said in mine hearing, go ye after him through the city. So after the prophets are out there preaching, there's a time where the Lord sends judgment. Let not your eyes spare, neither have ye pity. Slay utterly old and young, both maids and little children and women. But come not near any man upon whom is the mark, and begin at my sanctuary. Start with Jacob. That's why Jacob's trouble, all right, the end of the so-called white man's empire starts with Jacob's trouble. All right, because you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians, all right, the so-called white man is going to come down with great wrath upon you. All right. It says, then they began at the ancient men, which were before the house, talking about the men that knew they were Israelites, all right, and they hid their talent in a napkin in the world. Wasted talent, all right. The women, wasted talent. You got these women that should be married to one man, you know, with their sister wives, his housemates, you know, taking care of the husband and the kids, the home. But instead you got these women fucking hitchhiking with weirdos, right? I'm a man, and I wouldn't even got a ride with that dude. You see, and this girl is 23 years old, all proud, thinks she's I'm a woman, hear me roar kind of bitch. And look at her. When she was coming down those stairs, she was so humiliated. She was, you know, she looked younger than she was. Why? Because she had a reality check. All right. I watched the interview with her, but it got removed. I was gonna do a sit down on her because she was actually a very good looking woman, the one with the black eyes. But she was beat so bad, she was pretty much unrecognizable. When you see her in her original, you know, state, she's a good looking chick. But that dude beat her so bad that he humiliated her to the point where she looked like a little girl. And that's what's going to happen. The Lord is going to bring judgment upon the wicked women of this society, starting with the so-called Negro, Latino, and Native American Indian woman.